Welcome back to my channel, Bring Peace into Your Life. Today I would like to talk about how to regulate your nervous system. So how to stay calm in difficult situations and when life is hard. So stress is a natural part of life, and a small bit of stress can keep us alert and responsive. And that's okay. So stress in general can give us motivation, it can keep us going in life, it can give us a purpose, and it can be really helpful. But when it becomes constant, something deeper down shifts. So when stress is constant, it's really not good for your body and it's not good for your mind. So your nervous system governs your entire sense of calm, balance and safety in the world. That's psychologically, physically, emotionally. When it's working well, you feel grounded, but when it's not, you feel anxious, fatigued or stuck in survival mode. So what I want to look at today is how can we regulate our nervous system so that we're not in that survival mode or that fight or flight all the time. Because if we are, it's really not good for your body. It's not good for you mentally either, but it's really not good for your body. So you can train your nervous system to respond with more calm and less chaos. And it is something that can be done, but it takes time and it takes practice. And it takes looking at how you can regulate yourself and put a plan in place for yourself to help that to happen. So regulating your nervous system isn't just about reducing stress, it's about reclaiming a sense of control, allowing you to move through life with more resilience and calm. So stress reduction is great, that is part of it, but it's also about looking at the fact that you can control situations, you have control. And when we are in a fight or flight situation and our body is in that reaction, we feel very out of control. We don't feel like we can control the situation. We feel like things are just happening to us and we can't do anything about it. But that's actually not true. So if we can look at regulating our nervous system, that can help immensely. So our bodies aren't designed to be constantly under stress. So when the somatic system in the works overtime, our bodies are continually flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, and this can actually cause health issues. So this is when your body's in that fight or flight mode and you're constantly anxious, you're on hyper alert, you're hyper vigilance, looking for danger, looking for things that could get in your way, things that can be difficult. And when you're constantly in that mode, it can really cause psychological issues, mental health issues, but also physical issues. So in the short term, you can feel really tired and drained, you can feel irritable, you can have trouble sleeping, and then obviously the trouble sleeping then fills into feeling tired and exhausted. Over time, when this is there and it's at a higher level, it can actually cause physical issues. So you can have issues with high blood pressure, you can have issues with a weakened immune system, and you can also develop heart issues because your body is in such a stressful mode all the time and on high alert. And you can feel very run down, things like getting cold sores, getting colds and flus, not getting over an illness and getting ill quite regularly because your immune system is so depleted because you're in a hyper aware state all the time. So when you have a dysregulated nervous system, it means your body is stuck in an imbalanced state. So it's constantly on high alert, you're constantly sluggish and disconnected. So prolonged dysregulation may contribute to chronic stress-related illnesses. So we need to look at what can help this and what can make you put yourself into a more regulated state so that you can handle life and manage situations a lot better. And this is what I think we should be looking at. And I do look at this with a lot of my clients who are in a very heightened state of awareness all the time. So deep breathing, mindfulness, having fun can be really helpful, and it's about finding what works for you, what makes you feel calmer, what makes you feel more grounded, and you can reset your nervous system. So when you are in this heightened state, if we can shift out of fight or flight mode into a state of relaxation where the body can rest, heal and function optimally, that is the end goal. So it's about taking away the hypersensitivity, the hypervigilance, and moving into a more calm state of being so that you can handle things better in life and so that you have more control. So there are a few things that can help do this. So deep breathing is very, very good. Breathing exercises, mindfulness, meditation. So really always coming back to the breath, calming yourself down and taking your thoughts away from that anxiety producing thoughts. So when you are meditating and you're focusing on your breath, it's really, really hard for your body to be anxious and go into that hyper state. And the more you practice breathing and breathing regulation, the easier it becomes. And when we do this in like mindfulness and meditation, a lot of people say, oh, I can't meditate, I've got all these thoughts in my head. Meditation is not about taking the thoughts away completely. Meditation is about quieting the thoughts, recognising that they're there, and then coming back to your breathing and your breathing exercises and really calming down your system and regulating your system. In meditation and mindfulness, quite often what we do is we talk about the analogy of your thoughts are like clouds floating past. So you're in that meditating state, you're breathing and you think, oh, there's a thought there, but you just let it go float past. Or you can think of it as like the thoughts as in like leaves on the river. So that leaf floats past, you acknowledge it and you let it go and you come back to your breathing. So meditation is not about completely taking away the thoughts in your head. It's about calming them to a level where you can find an inner peace and an inner calmness, and that then helps you regulate your nervous system. When you move your body, when you walk, do yoga, even if it's dancing around the living room, it's about what works for you. Moving your body can regulate your nervous system. It links in with the psychology of it, but also the brain chemistry and then your physical health. And when you move, you have less time for those negative thoughts because you're concentrating on the movement and moving your body. What also can help is a weighted blanket. So this is something that has not been around for a long time, but in recent years people are buying weighted blankets, and that can really give you the feeling of being a lot calmer, of being held, of being present, and that can be really helpful as well. And then meditation, like I've just said about the deep breathing, I always feel like deep breathing and breathing exercises really link into meditation. And if you don't, and you do the breathing exercises on their own, you don't meditate, that's absolutely fine. But for me, they're very much linked together. And also visualization. So if you can do a meditative visualization, that's extremely helpful because you think about all your other senses. So you think about smells, about sounds, about colour, about vibrancy. And I do have some guided meditations on my channel if you want to go and try that out. Massage is really, really helpful as well, because when you are in a heightened state, your body gets very achy and can be really sore. So even massaging yourself, so kind of like massaging your feet or your legs, or what you can do is you can actually give yourself a hug. So just wrap your arms around yourself and just stay in that moment and allow yourself to breathe, and that can be really helpful. There's another thing that's quite helpful is tapping. So it's an emotional freedom technique where you use tapping on places like your temples or your chest, over your heart. When you are anxious, if you tap over your heart, it can really slow things down, slow your breathing down and really calm you. So that's something that can be really helpful as well. One thing that some people do, and some people think it's a bit crazy, but I'm going to put this in the video anyway, is to place your feet on the earth. So when I say place your feet on the earth, I actually mean bare feet on the earth, either grass or sand at the beach, if that feels more comfortable to you. And it's about grounding yourself in nature and being connected. And being out in nature is amazing as well. So having the sun on your skin, listening to the birds, smelling the flowers. So these really connect with each other. And I quite like going to the beach. I quite like walking along the beach in bare feet. But there's also, if you've got a forest near you, if you maybe like being in beneath the trees and in that nature, which is very, very grounding, that can be very helpful. So if you take your shoes and socks off and just put your feet on the ground, And quite often people who do these kinds of things like to actually hug trees. Now, people think it's very hippy dippy, but actually connecting with nature, touching the tree, thinking about where the tree is very, very grounded and rooted in the earth, and that's where you want to be. That calmness, that stillness is very, very grounding, and it really helps to regulate you. Something else that can be really helpful is cold water. So I've actually been cold water swimming, and that is amazing to regulate your nervous system and also regulate you psychologically. But if you're not able to do that, or you don't feel comfortable doing that, having a cold shower can actually be really helpful, and that can regulate you. Prioritise sleep. So when you are dysregulated, it's very difficult to sleep because you're finding it difficult to switch off your thoughts. It's and control that and stop all these thoughts running through your head. And when you do get good sleep and you're rested, it's a lot better, and you can feel a lot calmer and a lot less anxious. And really connecting with people that you have a good connection with. So talking to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, getting that energy from them, saying, look, this is how I'm feeling. And when you say that to them, they can talk to you about how they feel about you, their connection with you. They might give you some ideas of what to do, or you can do something with them. And doing something in a partnership can be really helpful, and it can make you feel more human, especially if you're feeling very dysregulated. It can feel very disconnected, and it can feel very isolating. So connecting with someone you love and care about, and that you know loves and cares about you, and someone you trust, can really give you that connectedness that you need to feel less isolated and less dysregulated, and it can help you regulate your emotions. So I hope that some of this video helped. If you have any comments about what you do to keep yourself regulated, or what you do to help yourself and help yourself feel more connected, then please put it in the comments, and hopefully that will help someone. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.